Supposedly somebody on Twitter figured out.
Hello, everybody. I'm TK for Theme King TK, and you might notice, yes, I'm still coming to you from the spooky study. Yes, I know that haunt season is over, but is it really? Are you like me? When haunt season ends, do you get a little case of the doldrums, a little post-horror season sadness, kind of like this sad clown from Midsummer Scream? I know I do, but I have found several cures. Haunt season is not necessarily over, and coming up, it might never be over. We might be very close to year-round haunts, and we'll talk about that later. But right now, I want to talk about Reign of Terror's Ho Ho Horror. Now, Reign of Terror is a 142 room, that's right, 142 room walk-through haunted experience with animatronics, scare actors, expansive sets, effects, you name it, they've got it. And right around my birthday every year, which is December 8th, by the way, my birthday, they do an event called Ho Ho Horror, where they put a little scary Christmas twist, a little dark Christmas twist on their normal festivities. I finally got a group of friends to make the trek, to get in the sleigh and head up the freeway to see some real slaying take place. And I'm here to tell you, it did not disappoint. So, you don't have to necessarily go from horror to holly jolly this time of year. Really, Gilman? Even you? I expected better. All right, well, I'll play along. Now that I am riding that ho-ho horror high. Because when we got up to Sherman Oaks and Reign of Terror, I'm here to tell you that the PKE readings were completely off the charts. Santa might be coming to town, but first, the spook, specters, and ghosts, they're not getting out of the way just quite yet. Take a look. So there's something just so satisfying with this outdoor mall completely decked out for Christmas, Jan's Marketplace in Thousand Oaks, and then you pan over and you see this, Reign of Terror. Again, a calamity ever so great. They had some awesome scare actors out here to help the crowd pass the time as they wait in line. And they even put on a little musical performance for us. I'll try and include a little bit and avoid the copyright. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Fun fact, the fog outside smelled like cinnamon. That was a nice little detail, nice little touch. They had a projector going showing some of the rooms, some clips from dark Christmas movies like Krampus and Gremlins, and that was a fun little touch as well. Just things to pass the time while you wait. And as we take a look at the front entrance, and if Universal can use the 12-foot skeletons, so can Reign of Terror. Creepy claws, and I do not want that elf anywhere near my shelf. Do like this logo though, Reign of Terror with the wreath, and I really love this. It just shows the holidays colliding here, the fog and old Christmas tree. And then again with the projector showing some of the 142 rooms that you will experience. A little bit of everything. A mine shaft, a fun house, a hospital, a jail, a swamp, a haunted house, a haunted forest. They just cover all the bases. They check all the boxes at Reign of Terror. But if you're here, how can you also be there? He's everywhere. A look at the prices now. $40 general admission, $60 to skip the line. Not too scary of prices at $60 because lines, well, they can be an absolute drag. Once you enter the building, some almost dark ride-esque animatronics, which are really cool, really nostalgic, but don't get the wrong idea. You're going to see much more advanced stuff in the house than this, but this was fun stuff and very nostalgic, very cool. This dude, very creepy. Fully expected him to move at any moment, but I do like his candy cane headband. We're almost done just hanging around. It's almost time to hit the house. And let me tell you, the heavy hitters are out. The celebrities came out in force for this one. You don't believe me? How about the main man, Michael? Not your holiday, dude. Come on. Chill out. Take a chill pill. But here we go. On the precipice, on the cusp of entering the house. There you see it. Is it going to be door number 1, 2, or 3? So no filming allowed in the house, but thankfully Reign of Terror has some of this promotional footage. I can't tell you how much I love this house. Major, big animatronics like that. That was in the Haunted Forest section where they had werewolves, which you see right here. It was themed, Christmas themed in terms of like the scare actors. You saw evil elves. You saw Santa Claus. Look at these sets. A big train coming your way, subway. They had a jail. They had a fun house. They had a swamp. They had a mine. They had a haunted house. They had, creepy dolls. They had it all. And I was wondering, given the fact that it was a seasonal event, would it be fully staffed with scare actors? As you take a look at this very impressive giant animatronic, this big slasher with like a Hannibal Lecter mask. The answer was a resounding yes. There were tons of scare actors, and scares came from everywhere. From the front, from the back, from the left, from the right, from up above. They would reach down from the ceiling. They'd pop up from the fog in the swamp with the laser fog. There were the animatronics and actors tied in perfectly. Here you see that swamp. I love that effect with the lasers, with the fog. And, we were really hoping, my friends and I, going in, we'd see a Krampus or two. And it was so much fun because when Krampus jumped out, look at that big clown animatronic. Krampus jumped out, we gave him a standing ovation. We stopped walking and just clapped for him. That was so much fun. But it really was incredible. I'd never been through it, so it was the unexpected, the unknown. Look at this nun animatronic with the picture dropping, Ouija boards, everything you want out of a great haunt. It delivered, but with Christmas flair this time. That's the only thing you're not seeing here. There were Christmas lights. There was one room that was entirely fogged in that they said, you got to get through the snowstorm or the blizzard. And literally you could not see an inch in front of you. And I was in the front of the group, of course. So I was just reaching and feeling out and trying to find my way out of there. It was nonstop. They have the tunnel, spinning tunnel where you feel like you're turning. All the gimmicks, all the things you love. Look at this giant archway and entrance. It was incredible. I can't believe it's only 2 days that they do Ho Ho Horror. I wish it was all December because I would absolutely tell my friends, you have to go experience this. It was amazing. There's the bridge in the mine that collapses. It drops out from under your feet and, you feel that. So yes, the actors can't touch you, but there are interactive things that definitely do come into play. Like air cannons and the such. And of course, there was merch and there were chainsaws. And that's the shirt that I got, just the classic haunted house look. I really wanted one of the Christmas designs. But again, this event only runs 2 days. We went the last day and they said, that my size just went so quick. I'm a 2X. But take a look at some of the merch and at the prices as well. And not terrible. And again, me and my friends loved this event so much that we all picked up a piece of merch. We all wanted to take something home as we scroll now and you see some of the various offerings from Reign of Terror itself, as well as some of these Christmas designs for Ho Ho Horror. These last two, I really love that last one. My friend, they have a free Santa picture with Santa or Satan Claus or whatever it may be, and there was this really cool hearse on the way out just in front as well. And one of my favorite moments on our way out, scare actor Santa was up on like the second or third floor of the parking structure, pointing, waving, menacing. I can't say enough about this event. It was incredible. We loved it. Loved that event so much. Had to pick up some merch. I can't believe they only did Ho Ho Horror for 2 nights, though. I think if they did every weekend throughout December, it would be a huge success. But I guess they have their reasons. But I'll definitely be going back and really want to make room to visit Reign of Terror during the normal haunt season as well. But haunt season, as I mentioned, might be getting real close to being 365 days a year. Universal Orlando recently put out some incredible footage of the animatronics coming to Universal Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment coming to Epic Universe. It's certainly going to be the attraction of that land, and I think the attraction of the park. Take a look at these amazing animatronic figures as we get set to be welcomed to a new world of gods and monsters.
Dr. Victoria Frankenstein. Together, we will finish what my great-grandfather started. Show them.
Monsters Unchained has the most technologically advanced animated figures that have ever been built in the attraction.
These are monsters for the next generation of fans. We wanted to make sure that we kept everything that was familiar, kept everything that was the essence of these monsters. But we wanted to take it to another level. These monsters are scary.
These animated figures are moving faster than any figures we have built, and we have so many of them. We have 14 animated figures across this ride floor.
And they are visceral, they are powerful, they are intense, and from a technical standpoint, they exceed beyond everyone's wildest expectations for what an animated figure can do.
Truly mind-blowing stuff there. I mean, those figures looking so incredible. The skin tone, amazing. The Wolfman especially looks so menacing. His movement, his ability to reach down. He kind of gives me Yeti vibes from Expedition Everest, at least when the Yeti worked and wasn't Disco Yeti as he is today. Dracula, though, looks completely real. Looks like an immortal being that still haunts and sucks the blood of his victims. I mean, just the skin tone. I didn't love the Dracula look when I first saw the concept art, but seeing this thing in motion, he looks fantastic. Frankenstein's monster is going to be absolutely towering. I wouldn't be surprised if Frankie is about 10 feet tall. And then the Gill Man, you saw his motion, looks like he was swimming at one point, so I think the background with screens, maybe practical elements with underwater plants and stuff, with the Gill Man coming at you, maybe as you turn a corner, could truly be remarkable. I cannot wait for this dark ride. I cannot wait for this land. I'm so excited. I got a word recently with the Count himself, Dracula.
Greg,
how's it going with you?
I can imagine. I heard of a certain dark universe coming across the way. Any chance you can get there by flight, or, you know, if you fly under the moon?
Heard the rest of the story.
Oh, let's hear it.
Why don't you look for the restaurant and find out who's running it?
So would that be Das Steakhouse? I heard it's to die for.
Exactly. It's going to be very draining on the people when they come.
So in other words, before eating at Das Steakhouse and after eating at Das Steakhouse. So in addition to Epic Universe and Dark Universe, Universal is really going all in the year-round haunt game, because they recently released news on their project that'll be a year-round haunt in Las Vegas, Universal's Horrors Unleashed. Let's take a closer look. You know what? I will wear this hat because it just seems like Christmas has come early this year with those animatronic videos and now the news on Universal Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas. Cannot wait for this. Looks like it's going to be really cool. I love the lounge vibe. There's going to be a tribute store in there. Looks like, you know, stage show, kind of carnival sideshow type stuff. And if Jack the Clown and Chance are involved, count me in. It's going to be great to see two of the Orlando icons in the house in Sin City, right where they belong. They'll fit right in because a lot of the Universal Orlando HHN team is working on this. Now let's talk about the houses that they mentioned. Universal Monsters, of course. And this looks like we're going to get the heavy hitters. It looks like we're going to get Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, maybe Creature, maybe Invisible Man. Maybe they'll swap them out every so often, who knows? But it looks like we're going to get that classic gothic horror look. And I love it. I'm first in line anytime the Universal Monsters are involved. Then from there, you talk about Scarecrow. It is one of the absolute greatest original concept houses that HHN on both coasts has had. Scarecrow the Reaping. I'm sure they already have some set pieces, some props. I'm sure this will be a slightly new take, but Scarecrow's coming to life and going on a murderous bender. That's always awesome. And Scarecrows always have that Halloween vibe, so they fit right in as well. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Both parks, Orlando and Hollywood, have done Leatherface a bunch, and most recently in Hollywood with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Legacy of Leatherface, which was, to me, one of the top two houses this year for sure. Leatherface, you know, those confined spaces. They get some big scare actors to play Leatherface. It gets right in your face with the chainsaw. It can really be something. And that's a major IP, and that'll bring out true horror fans. The one that's a little bit puzzling to me is The Exorcist. Now, not The Exorcist itself, because both Hollywood and Orlando have done the original Exorcist, which of course is an iconic property. However, The Exorcist Believer was a house just a couple years ago in Orlando and Hollywood. And it was a fine house. It was a great house, in fact. Hollywood had the invisible wall that, you know, the wall would disappear and the two girls would be pacing back and forth. Body in the blood, body in the blood. They had the stable room. It was one of the stinky houses in the stables. It was a very, very effective house. The thing that I find interesting is it didn't perform super well at the box office. You know, it's kind of a tarnished property, and now they're scrambling to kind of resurrect again and push forward and put, you know, more powerful directors with it and everything. It was a good house, but I don't think this one lasts for too long. I really do hope they cycle the houses out. For instance, I talk about a Dark Christmas like at Reign of Terror. How about at Christmas time, maybe every so often, if we get to like November, December, January, if we could get a return of the Krampus house, which again, 2016, one of my favorite houses of all time. So I hope, you know, that the houses don't get stagnant. I think the Universal Monsters will be a linchpin. They'll be there in some form at all times. But every once in a while, I think you'll see one of the houses kind of swap out. But again, very excited that we're getting closer and closer to year-round horror. It's like the werewolf in Nightmare Before Christmas when the mayor says, it's only 365 days till next Halloween. And he says, 364. We're not going to have to count because it's going to be year-round, baby. And with that being said, we'll lose this for now. And I will say to you, it's only a matter of time, probably sooner rather than later, that I will see you in the fog.